On this Ram 1500 Classic with the 3.6 Pentastar, P0325 is for the knock sensor 1 circuit. In plain terms, the PCM is seeing a knock sensor signal that does not look electrically believable. The driver may only notice the MIL, and the truck may otherwise seem normal, but the possible fault areas include the knock sensor signal side, the return side, connector issues, the sensor itself, and, after the circuit checks are exhausted, the PCM. Before getting deep into the circuit, start with the basic system checks. For this code, the monitor gate is engine speed above 2000 RPM, battery voltage between 7.5 volts and 15.8 volts, and barometric pressure above 75.2 kPa. The code sets when the PCM sees knock sensor input voltage above 4.8 volts or less than 0.2 volts when engine speed is above 2000 RPM. Start by finding out whether P0325 is active or pending. Start the engine, then test drive or operate the vehicle under the same conditions that allow this monitor to run and set. Use the scan tool to read and record the DTCs. If P0325 is not active or pending, handle it as an intermittent condition. If it is active or pending, move into the circuit testing. Before probing at the PCM side, do not back probe or probe the PCM harness connectors. That can damage the PCM terminals and create a poor terminal-to-pin connection. Use the GPEC diagnostic adapter for this diagnosis. With the ignition off, disconnect the knock sensor harness connector. Turn the ignition on and measure voltage on the K42 knock sensor 1 signal circuit at the knock sensor harness connector. If that voltage is above 5.2 volts, repair the K42 signal circuit for a short to voltage. Then verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. If it is not above 5.2 volts, continue to the next check. Turn the ignition off. Disconnect the PCM-C2 harness connector and connect the GPEC Diagnostic 10436 adapter. Now measure resistance of the K42 knock sensor 1 signal circuit from the knock sensor harness connector to the GPEC adapter. The circuit should measure below 3.0 ohms. If it does, keep going. If it does not, repair the K42 signal circuit for an open or high resistance. Then verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. Next, check the K942 knock sensor 1 return circuit. Measure resistance from the knock sensor harness connector to the GPEC adapter. This circuit also needs to be below 3.0 ohms. If it is below 3.0 ohms, continue. If it is not, repair the K942 return circuit for an open or high resistance. Then verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. Now check whether the signal and return circuits are shorted together. Check continuity between the K42 knock sensor 1 signal circuit and the K942 knock sensor 1 return circuit at the knock sensor harness connector. If there is continuity between those two circuits, repair the short between the K42 signal circuit and the K942 return circuit. Then verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. If there is no continuity, keep moving through the path. Next, check the K42 knock sensor 1 signal circuit for a short to ground. Check continuity between ground and the K42 signal circuit at the knock sensor harness connector. If there is continuity to ground, repair the K42 signal circuit for a short to ground. Then verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. If there is no continuity to ground, the circuit checks have not found the fault, so move to the sensor step. At this point, replace knock sensor 1. Reconnect the knock sensor and PCM harness connectors, turn the ignition on, and erase the DTCs with the scan tool. Then operate the vehicle under the captured conditions, or under the same monitor conditions that set the code, and read DTCs again. If P0325 does not return, replacing knock sensor 1 repaired the fault. Verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. If the code does return, continue into the harness and connection inspection. For the connection check, disconnect all PCM harness connectors, any related inline harness connectors if equipped, and the related component connectors. Inspect the connectors and terminals for installation problems, damaged locks, corrosion, water intrusion, seal damage, bent terminals, overheated or discolored terminals, push-back terminals, spread terminals, and terminal tension concerns. Repair anything found. Then reconnect the PCM connectors, inline connectors if equipped, and component connectors, making sure everything is fully seated and the locks are engaged. Erase the DTCs, test drive or operate the vehicle under the conditions that set the code, and read DTCs again. If P0325 does not return, the wiring or poor connection problem has been repaired. If it does return after those checks and repairs, replace and program the PCM, then verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. The clean path on P0325 is to prove the circuit first. Short to voltage, open or high resistance on signal and return, signal to return short and short to ground. Only after those checks pass does the path move to knock sensor 1, then connector integrity, and finally the PCM if the code still returns. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.